Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Rossetti and Stewart Podcast. I am joined today with three people, but first I need to introduce my podcast partner, Mr. Brotherly Love today, Justin Stewart.
Bringing all the love here in the heart of downtown Pittsburgh. What's up, Antonio? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. You know, it's a busy day. I had a pretty big night last night. I got the interview of Evgeny Malkin.
You did.
Which was pretty crazy. He was a childhood hero of mine, and then you get to interview someone who is a top 15 NHL player of all time. Can't beat it.
No, you can't. You can't.
I'm blessed.
You can't. You want to introduce your
I would love to.
Pals here.
So, welcome back. He now has an Evan Mobley shirt on, not LaMelo Ball. Gabe Roman.
Hello. It's
the Roman Empire's back.
The Roman Empire.
And we got the Ambridge assist.
Marshall
Bruce.
You didn't say that right.
It's
wait. You said Marshall Bruce.
Ambridge
Marshall.
Assists. Yeah.
Wait, Bruce is your last name?
Yeah.
So wait, you're Marshall Bruce Mathers?
No, I hear that joke all the time, and because of it, it's impossible to Google myself. So, we're gonna leave it at that.
Fair enough. I just had to throw that one through. Sorry, bud.
He's a big Eminem fan. He's a big Eminem fan.
I actually am though. But you can find our show though on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Just search the Rossetti and Stewart Podcast. Just had to plug the podcast in real quick before we get started. Talking all things basketball. Antonio.
First things first, I do want to ask, how are you guys both doing? How was the trip out here?
Yeah, the drive was pretty good. It was smooth. Just got a brand new car. And when I say brand new, I mean 2007 Volkswagen.
Hey man, car's
Tourer.
a car.
A car's a car.
Shoot.
The John drives smooth.
Yeah.
I decided to name the car Hope.
Hope?
Some wholesomeness for you this morning.
Oh, yeah. No, we love it. We love it. Congrats on the new car.
Oh, thank you.
Respect.
It was a dent in the wallet, a huge one.
Yeah.
Dave is smiling right now because he knows the truth, but hey, the drive was good.
Fair enough.
Tony, I'm having a good day. Except we tried the new Guy Fieri chicken place here in downtown Pittsburgh. Really good. Really good chicken tenders, really good fries. And I got a milkshake, and the straws were so freaking small, I couldn't get anything out of the milkshake. Yeah. So now I'm upset.
It's just like...
Gabe was sucking, pause, and couldn't get anything.
I love the sound effects.
This is an ASMR podcast too.
That was great.
ASMR podcast.
That was absolutely incredible.
I must say though, these microphones.
Oh, they're really good.
Phenomenal.
They're great.
These
My
are
voice
Schurz.
has never.
These are the top of the top, man. Top of the top.
Yo, how much were these, Johns?
Too much money.
Yeah.
They're like at least $300.
I wonder how the other podcast room, when they get the new CMI, is going to be.
That'd be interesting to see. That definitely will be interesting to see, though.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll still be able to use that. I don't know.
We could break in.
Yeah, we could break in.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know we'll be able to use this as long as we want.
Yeah. It's true. It's very true.
But yeah, so...
You just want to jump right into it, though?
Let's jump right into it. So I was thinking, I was looking at some teams. It's like sink or swim for some teams.
And we're talking about NBA, by the way. It's
NBA.
basketball.
It's a basketball day, and I saw Philly has won 6 games in a row. And they're playing some good ball. James Harden's been fully healthy. Joel Embiid's been fully healthy. Tobias Harris has been fully healthy. The only question is, do they need to add another piece, or do you guys think that this team could contend?
Well, today we're going through different trades that we've come up through the trade machine. I didn't have any for Philly. I think that they have.
Yeah.
And if they stay healthy, they definitely have a contending team. Like I said last time, I don't think Philly's a winning culture. I don't think they will win, even if they have all their people. But
they're gonna find a way to mess it up.
Yeah, and I brought it up last podcast too. It was the whole thing with Kawhi Leonard's game winner. Like they had if they would have won that, they probably had a chance against the injured Warriors.
Yeah,
and
chance.
Kawhi hit that game winning shot, and
one of the most iconic sports photos of the last 5 years.
Yeah, that squat was deep.
It was.
The squat was real deep.
Oh, they were. But to answer your question, though, like you saying, Gabe was saying, they're a good team every year. That's kind of what we've come to expect. You have Embiid, you're going to be in the mix as far as being a playoff team. But when it comes down to, I think Milwaukee's better than them, and I definitely think Boston would beat them in a 7-game series. I think even Brooklyn, with the fully healthy KD and Kyrie, I think they give them serious issues. So to answer your question, they're probably at best a second-round team, regardless of any moves they might make at the deadline.
I have to agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah. And with the Nets, too, speaking of the Nets, I mean, as long as you have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, as long as they're healthy, they're a problem.
Don't forget their third star.
Ben Simmons.
Nope. Mr. Nick Claxton.
Oh, Claxton's having a good year.
Breakout season, Nick Claxton.
He was a solid pickup on my fantasy team.
Oh.
Like, I thought it was a throwaway pick. And then next thing you know, he's like leading the league in he's not leading the league in blocks, but he's like right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was
like
weird.
In the running for Defensive Player of the Year. He's just having a great year.
Yeah, I mean, like, he was like one of those players, too. Like, I thought he could have stayed another season at Georgia. Like, he was a one and done. But I think, like, sometimes being a one and done and being a bench player when you first come out is not a bad decision. And now you see, this guy's put some more weight on. And like you said, his blocking.
It's out of this world.
And he's a good rebounder, too. I mean, how many points is he putting up for you on fantasy?
Oh, average 50 a night
Yeah.
right now in this like week span.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Yeah, I mean, good pickup. And wasn't he talking crap with Montrezl Harrell the other night, too?
Dude, there's a lot of guys in the NBA. They talk crap. We saw the whole talk about the last podcast. Shannon Sharp and the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, come on, dude. It's every week. It's they should call it the NDA, the National Drama Association. Forget
You got to keep it entertaining somehow.
You do. No, you definitely do. I just want to throw that out there though.
They should the same way that in hockey they allow the people to fight. They should just give him a couple seconds. My boy Jordan Clarkson, he squares up every other game. He's ready to go.
You know who'd be undefeated, though? Steven Adams.
Oh,
yeah.
Steven
Forget
Adams. It's a wrap. I'd run away before I'd fight
It's a
Steven Adams.
big dude.
That's a huge dude.
James Johnson would be in every starting lineup, though, if they're allowed fighting.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm about to say fighting maybe, but not like a starting lineup. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, but it would be like how the old NHL used to be. You used to roster a player that had hands of stone and couldn't play hockey, but they decided to put him on the roster just so they could take out some players.
Well, enforcer.
Yeah, an enforcer, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have that in basketball, too. I mean, when you think Michael Jordan played, he had, Bill Cartwright, Charles Oakley. Like, those were,
and then the Pistons, too, with Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn.
The entire roster.
Well,
the entire roster.
The entire roster, pretty much, yeah.
I mean, it caused him so much pain he couldn't even take Isaiah Thomas on the Dream Team.
That's another issue.
Which
I have a whole issue with that, but that's probably a future podcast episode, honestly.
Yeah.
Since it's my first time on the podcast, I just have to ask you straight out.
What's up?
Who do you guys think is the GOAT?
You can go first.
Michael Jordan.
Ricky Rubio.
We're gonna go a little Darko Milicic, best player from the 03 draft. No comments.
Definitely Henry Sims, Georgetown grad, played for the Cavaliers.
Got to do some Michael K. Gilchrist in here too.
Honestly,
Michael
it's Jordan.
Michael
Yeah,
Jordan.
for us. How about you guys?
MJ.
It's so hard to compare. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
the GOAT conversation is one that's always going to go back and forth. Once LeBron breaks this record, I don't know. Like right now, it's hard for me to say because I didn't grow up watching Jordan. I didn't grow up watching Kareem. I didn't grow up watching Hakeem. Like I grew up watching Bron. So I don't know. There's a lot of good players. It depends on when you grew up and what era they played in.
yeah, I just think I'm at the point now where it's just like I'd rather appreciate all these players like for like what they do. They're all great players. At the end of the day, they're all future Hall of Famers. I hate the whole comparing thing because honestly, we just go in circles at this point. Like people who are MJ fans they're gonna say he's the GOAT. You're not gonna change their mind. And same thing with LeBron at this point. So.
Yeah, LeBron's about to break that record. He's like
he is
150 points out.
No, he's gonna do it really soon.
I think here's the thing: like he's had a lot more seasons to do it than Jordan.
Because Jordan decided to retire early.
He retired twice.
Yeah,
but I will say like that's a testament to LeBron's durability.
That's a.
It's
same
like,
with Kareem.
Yeah, Kareem.
He was 41 when he retired.
Yeah, and he played all his. He played like a lot in college too. He wasn't like a one and done. He actually played at UCLA. He was Lou Alcindor at UCLA then.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much before like Milwaukee, he was pretty much Lou, and then after that, he was Kareem. Yeah.
But yeah, think about it. Like he got Milwaukee
the championship.
NBA
Him and Oscar
championship.
Robinson. Yeah.
That's their last one.
No, it's not.
Or no,
not their last
the
one.
Giannis one.
Yeah,
it was
one
the last one
couple
until
years ago.
Giannis
Yeah.
won. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. But yeah, speaking of the Bucks, though, what do you guys think about them? Do you guys think that they can win it this year? They're personally my favorite still, just because they have Giannis in the lineup.
You know, you guys can go first. You're the guest.
Chris Middleton has to be healthy.
I agree.
Consistent.
I agree.
Without that consistent scorer on the team, like they have all the other pieces. They have their best player, who is dominate. He can take over the game whenever he wants. But then if you don't have that second guy, because they have a solid third guy in Drew Holiday, great defense, just contributes on all parts of the floor.
Potential all-star, yeah.
But Chris Middleton, without him, like he's got to be consistent, especially in like playoff basketball.
Yeah. The Bucks. The thing with the Bucks this year has been all about health, and so like especially Giannis this year, his knees, like you can see they're starting to wear on him. He's been in and out of the lineup. His field goal percentages are down, but at the end of the day, he's still Giannis. And if he can get through the playoffs, if Middleton and Holiday can get through the playoffs, then they have as much of a chance as anyone else. So
Yeah, I mean, likewise, I think this year it's one of those years, like record, like we saw in the Warriors in past championship seasons, record's really not going to be a big factor in how they'll fare in the playoffs, I don't think. They can be the 5th seed, the 7th seed. They're going to be a dangerous opponent for whoever they face as long as all those guys are healthy. But I do think if Chris Middleton is not healthy, I don't see them winning a championship this year. They might make a little run, but, I mean, Giannis, he has a lot on his shoulders, obviously. He has been sitting out. But, he's still, when he's right, he's still arguably the best player in the NBA. So you can't,
best player in the world.
You know what I meant. That's yes. NBA is the best. Yeah, okay. He's the best in the world.
Yeah,
Got you.
This is including the EuroLeague.
All right. I'm sorry, I messed up there. But when he's right, he's the best player in the world. Fixed it for you.
Jimmer Fredette's playing in China, so
he's pretty good in China.
Don't forget about Dwight Howard in Thailand.
Yeah, you remember when Russ Smith was putting up all those numbers?
How about Stephon Marbury? He's a legend in China. He's ridiculous. That was like late 30s too. He wasn't young. But back to the Bucks though. Yeah, they're a solid team. That's never been a question. But I just think this is Boston's year. It has to be. Like, it's either this year or never. I don't think this is like their best chance. I think because I think everyone else in the East is kind of, they all have their own flaws. And I think Boston, out of everyone, they're the deepest team. They've been the most healthy for the most part all year, and they've played consistently good all year too. So I think Boston right now, they're the odds-on favorite to come out of the East, in my opinion.
And plus, they have like all the solid guards too. You have Derek White. You literally have Malcolm Brogdon, former Rookie of the Year Malcolm Brogdon, and you have Jaylen Brown. And on top of that, you have a superstar. And you could argue that Brown's a superstar. I'd say all-star, but you get Jason Tatum. That's superstar right there. And you got one of the best defensive centers in the league in Robert Williams. So I know this is music to Marshall's ears, though.
My Celtics, man. It's been a rough couple years.
They've been good.
I wouldn't say rough couple years. You won made to the finals last year.
But here's the thing, though. Like, have you ever come in second in a race?
Oh, of course.
Track?
Yeah.
I think I would rather get like 5th or 6th than be this close and then not get it.
I don't think they would be as motivated this year if they didn't experience the loss of last year.
Facts.
Thing is that they suffered a hard loss against the Cavaliers though in 2018 too. So they've come close multiple times.
Yeah, they've been in the Eastern Conference Finals for
several times.
4 out of the last 6 or 7 years.
They made it with Isaiah Thomas as their best player. So they've been knocking on the door. It's just they have to get over that hump. And I think this year, honestly, like Golden State's down, and really the West it's really been Denver and Memphis so far. They've been the 2 best teams consistently. There's a chance for Boston to really win this year. There really is.
Yeah,
I will say I think there's one thing that holds them back, and that's honestly Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown in one aspect.
Okay.
I would say, and this is arguable, those two can't get a bucket whenever they want. Like, there's players in the league, KD, Steph Curry, LeBron, the guys that, like, it doesn't matter what kind of scheme or whatever, you can make it harder for them, but they can't get a bucket whenever they want. And so the thing that really, like, took over that series last year was the Warriors were just like, hey, make them go left. Like, that's it. That's all they did. And so, like, the thing that needs to change in their game is they got to be able to, like, basically dominate in a way that it doesn't matter what you do. And if they can take that step, it's like, I think they're an unbeatable team in a series.
I think Jason Tatum can get a bucket whenever he wants.
Yeah, to Marshall's point. To Marshall's point, though, last year, if you look at his field goal percentage in the finals compared to the previous 3 series, it's a drastic drop off.
The problem last year is that they had so many 7-game series. Like, their problem last year was closing out the series. They were up, and both their series should have been 5 or 6 games at most. And so after you played was it 2 or 3 7-game series in a row, and you're in the finals, and like you played a full season, and like they were tired, they were burnt out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, but if you look at their starting lineup, you have all these players like other than Malcolm Brogdon. I mean, no, not even him. Like, there's not really a lot of players on this team that have won anything. You know what I mean? Like in the NBA.
No, they're weird. The Celtics. This is where I think we can argue about the whole Nets trade way back. They really like won that trade like big time. I mean, you got at least an all-star, you got a superstar player too out of it. And like they're still like not even their prime, like 25, 26 years old. That's a crazy
fleeced
thing.
in that. These players were draft picks from the Kevin Garnett trade.
Paul Pierce
and
trade.
Paul
Yeah.
Pierce. And
It's just wild though. But the Celtics, they're one of those teams. They're set to win now, but they're also set to win in the future. Like they can still be good 5 years from now because they have those two core pieces. So
speaking of the Nets, though, they actually the pick that they traded Gerald Wallace for ended up being Damian Lillard.
That's true.
To the Trailblazers, and they also traded a random second-round pick for Troy Murphy, and that ended up being Draymond Green. So
you know, it's one of those things.
and they missed out on Jason Tatum
Yeah.
and Jaylen Brown.
speaking of all these trades,
That's probably a perfect segue. Yeah.
why don't we,
We
get
really
into
probably
some?
should get into it.
Let's do it.
So I've got a good warm-up one, and this has been talked about since before the season started with the whole blow-up of the Lakers last year. So you guys have heard this before probably. Pacers, Lakers, Russell Westbrook for Miles Turner, Buddy Hield. Couple first-round picks. We don't really need to talk about those. Russell
those
Westbrook
are
to
the main
Pacers.
bring back from the trades.
Yeah.
That's the main thing that they want. I don't
But
think
if
they, I
the
don't think
Lakers
it's done.
get and for the Pacers, that's obviously like a lose situation.
Yeah,
where they get some picks for it's a future setup kind of trade. You get some Russell Westbrook, some entertainment, but the real thing that needs to be talked about is if the Lakers get Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, does that change, their destination for the playoffs?
It gives them a shooter in Buddy Hield. I mean, he's a knockdown guy. So, he was a knockdown guy to Oklahoma, knockdown guy for Sacramento, for New Orleans, whoever it may be. So, I definitely think that would definitely help out the Lakers. And plus, you get Miles Turner, too.
Defensively, is really, like elite.
Yeah,
And he's
this-
He actually plays games.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't say that about many guys nowadays. Was another story too.
This has been, like you said, one of the most talked about trades since the preseason, and I don't think it happens. One, because Turner, Indiana has been playing way above they were
Yeah,
projected.
they're
Now,
in a playing spot right now.
Tyrese has been injured, so when he gets back, hopefully they get back on track. But Turner's been playing really well this year. He's more likely going to sign an extension rather than get traded.
Yeah.
But also, like we've also seen, AD has played best this year at the center spot. And so why bring in another big man in Turner and move AD to the 4 when he's been thriving at the 5?
Yeah, the trade, it just doesn't really make sense for me for Indiana. I know that you get the draft picks, but you're talking 2026, 2027 first-round picks. You have no idea. I mean, the Lakers probably would be trash still at that point, but, they could be, for all we know, they could be good. They could have, a super team again. So, you don't really know. That could turn, a pick 25, and at that point, you can still get value. That's, as you alluded with the Nets trades, but, I just think you keep Turner. I think you keep Hield this year, or if not, find some other guys to trade with on Indiana's roster, maybe like a TJ McCollum or something. I don't know, but Russell Westbrook's contract too. He's getting paid $40 million. I wouldn't eat that. It's really expensive for a guy. It's a 6th man, not even a starter, a 6th man. So I don't know about that trade, honestly.
Yeah. All right. So this is a good warm-up trade. I'm going to start with the feel-good trade.
Okay.
That I think makes sense for both teams. So we've heard that Caruso has been on the trading block. A lot of teams are interested in him. So Alex Caruso and Andre Drummond gets traded to the Knicks, and the Chicago Bulls gets their hometown hero Derrick Rose and a first-round pick.
Oh boy, yeah, that's
Oh.
the first-round pick for Drummond and Caruso.
That's the Bulls are asking for a first for Caruso. That's
insane.
That what they're saying is their asking price.
They must be high on drugs. So for first
I'd
rounder,
pay.
maybe Levine or DeRozan, but Alex Caruso, you'd be lucky to get a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's no disrespect.
He's a good player.
He's a good role player, but a draft pick for Alex Caruso and Come on now.
I think Chicago realizes, hey, we're not going anywhere. So this is included in some other trades. Like they maybe move one of their stars. And so this is a fringe trade where they bring back someone who's going to fill the seats in Rose back in Chicago, and they recoup some draft capital in that pick.
I will say, I think it helps the Knicks out if they do get Alex Caruso and Andre Drummond, though.
But at the cost of
especially with Mitchell
pick,
Robinson
though,
hurt. But yeah, I don't know if they do a first out of it though. You know what I mean? Like
maybe if it was Levine or DeRozan, the first would make a lot more sense.
We have to think about DeJounte got 3, Gobert got 4 or 5. They're not going to get 1 for Levine,
which is nuts. The Gobert trade.
That was that's a bad trade. Looking back, I think I don't remember. I remember we talked about that trade on our podcast. I think I said that was a good trade. It's not a good trade now. It's
still early, right?
No,
it's been a bad so far.
He's already peaked as a player. He's
past his prime.
He's 30.
Can't even post up. Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, I mean, still a good player defensively. We know he can bring, but.
If you're Chicago or New York, do you deny that trade or do you accept it?
You have to deny that. I mean, yeah, sure, the Knicks get better, but if it's for a first round pick, I think it's crazy. But the thing is that would be such a Knicks thing to do. They would give up a first round pick for 2 role players at this point in their careers. It would be a Knicks thing, but I think you just can't do that.
Mm-hmm, yeah. No, I agree. I agree with what you said practically.
Okay. Do you guys have another one you want to try? Or
I do have one. So I did one for OG and Anunoby to the Cavs.
Okay.
And it was Osman, Okoro, and rather 1 or 2 first round picks.
Osman and Okoro you
said first round pick.
Say that one more time.
So OG goes to the Cavs, and then it's going to be Osman and Okoro, and rather 1 or 2 first round picks.
Well, the Raptors said that they want multiple first and a young guy for Anunoby.
Well, you get the 2 first and Okoro. Mm-hmm. So I think
2 first,
2 first, and Osman and Okoro.
But here's the thing: if you get that though, those 2 first round picks are going to be late.
They are. I will give you that. But I think one isn't enough.
What's that? 1
first rounder is not. They want 2.
Yeah, that's what Gabe was saying. So that's why I put 1/2.
There was some talks. Now I forgot who it was reported by. That they were offered 3 first-round picks for Anunoby, and they denied it.
What?
Oh,
jeez.
That's
from who?
I don't know. So I don't know how accurate that is. But
they clearly think highly of him when they declined that trade.
He was a DPOY candidate. Now he did just get injured.
He's a good player. Like he's a really good player. He's averaging 16 on 46% shooting. Like those are good numbers. But like, that's a first-round pick though.
I watched him get hurt live.
Who, OG?
We were watching
yesterday in the game. Yeah.
Oh, he got hurt. He just got hurt yesterday. Okay.
Yeah, he did.
He just sprained his wrist.
Uh-huh.
It looked bad. It looked like it broke, but they're just saying it's a sprain.
Oh, fun fact, by the way. Speaking of the Raptors and Cavs, I was at the game where Serge Ibaka and Marquise Chris got into that big fight.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? That was pretty funny.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Marquise Chris.
So I think that the Raptors would deny that because they can get more for OG.
Yeah.
At that point, I would decline that trade too in a heartbeat, honestly.
If I was the Cavs, I would do it. If I was the Raptors, no.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think just like
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Do the Cavs have the 2 first to trade after that D-Mitch trade?
Let's say
they do. They have 1 swap with theirs, and then they have their own 2025 picks still.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say for the Cavs, like just in general, I think this is the year. You know, they traded for Mitchell this year. Obviously, I wouldn't rush into trying to do another trade this year. I would just see how this year plays out. Your team's clearly going to be a playoff team as long as they stay healthy. You know, I just think run the table this year and see how far you get. I think they could be if the chips fall in their favor. I do think their peak or ceiling is a conference appearance, conference finals. I do think they're that good, but at the same time, we've seen them. They had a bad loss yesterday. And they've kind of been inconsistent. And I understand they've had guys in and out of the lineup too, so I don't want to put too much stock into it. But I think this year for the Cavs, just see how far you get, and then if you want to go in the next offseason, try to get another impact player and really try to build a championship team legitimately. I think that's what you do. I don't even think you even try to trade anyone for Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. I do think though, like Isaac Okoro though could be a good player one day. Because he's definitely really good defensive. Mm-hmm. He's a really good defensive
offensively. That's the concern for him.
He's not consistent from 3.
Yeah,
but that's how OG started too. So
That's true.
I mean, wasn't in Indiana long, came into the league. I mean, he was another player that when he first got here, it wasn't, sunshines and rainbows when he first got here. So, but hey, you're seeing it with a lot of players that are now starting to come in and break their stride, like we mentioned Nick Claxton earlier, and Anthony Simons as well. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, next trade.
Do you guys want a fringe small trade, a medium trade, or a big trade?
Big trade.
Yeah, let's go big.
Big trade. All right. We get my boy in Dallas some help.
Okay.
Luka gets another star to partner with him. The Chicago Bulls. There's a lot of Bulls trade. The Chicago Bulls send Zach LaVine to the Mavericks.
Okay.
For 3 firsts, a 2025 unprotected, a 2027 top 8 protected, a 2029 lottery protected, Tim Hardaway Jr., and for salary filler, Davis Bertans.
Wow.
And you get Zach LaVine for 5 years.
5 years. Oh.
Is Zach LaVine that guy?
Luka is that guy.
Is he that second star?
He's a really good player. He's an all-star player, but that's a lot for a guy that's. I think he's already peaked as a player too. He's still very good, but I think he's already peaked.
You'd be running with the lineup of Luka, Dinwiddie, LaVine, whoever you want in the 4, and Christian Wood.
I'd do it. Honestly, for the Mavericks.
Honestly, I think Dallas.
It's a pretty good lineup.
I think. I don't like the trade, but I think if you're Dallas, looking from Dallas' perspective, I think if you're trying to go all in, I think that makes a lot of sense. I do. But I would not give up that many draft. I would not do that. But at the same time, if Dallas is a playoff team every year, those picks aren't going to be as high. So at the same time.
And you got to remember, once again, DeJounte got 3.
I understand that.
I have a thought on
this. DeJounte's a lot younger, too, though.
I have my thoughts on this, too, though. It's like, right now, the Dallas Mavericks picks, they're not a lottery team.
No.
Their picks aren't even, crazy, what's the word? They'll
be in the 20 to 25 range pretty much every year.
Get rid of them. Get LaVine. Here's the thing. Luke is going to get his bread eventually. So you might as well put people around him. You don't want what happened with LeBron where he left out.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You need to build around Luka now, or he's eventually going to get fed up. So my thing is, go all in, get Zach LaVine. I know he might be at his peak, but here's the thing. He's still one of the better players in the game we have. He's very explosive going in the hole right now. And plus, him playing with Luka Doncic being a second option with him, I'd do it. I'd pull the trigger on it.
Yeah, I think the reason why I'm a bit hesitant on LaVine is because he also has a injury history. He's not the healthiest guy either.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, I think I kind of mentioned the last time we were on with you, I would actually try to go after Anthony Davis if I were the Mavericks. I think he would fit a lot better. I mean, he has the scoring, obviously, the rebounding. He's another big, and he provides defense when he's healthy. But once again, the big issue, he's never healthy either. So it's just you have to. It's just one of those things. Dallas does at some point. They do have to get that second star. They really do. I just don't. Like you said, the LaVine, I think that would make some sense. My thing is he's kind of one-dimensional. Scoring is really his go-to, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just defensively iffy. Not really a playmaker as far as assist and rebounding goes. But I mean, like you said, though, just even an all-star, a legitimate all-star with Luka, that would do wonders for the Mavericks.
What do you think, Marshall?
I just think there's someone better out there for Luka than Zach LaVine.
Like Fred VanVleet?
VanVleet next to Luka?
You know who I would love to see next to Luka? Zion Williamson.
That's not.
That would.
It's not going to happen.
No,
but it would be nice.
He just signed that massive contract extension. Zion.
I would love to see it.
So, yay or nay? Tony, do you do that trade?
I do that trade if I'm the Mavericks. Yeah.
Justin, yay or nay?
Yeah, I would do that trade.
Marshall,
I would do it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. You guys want a big shakeup, medium or small?
I do want to say one thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking, I think Fred VanVleet would be a perfect fit on the Nuggets right now.
You said Nuggets.
But the Nuggets are so good already. They have Jamal running the point.
Yeah,
but here's the thing.
Would you rather have Jamal or Fred?
But
Jamal's also significantly younger, too.
But here's the thing with this, though. You could use Fred VanVleet similar to how the Raptors used them. And if you think about it, when Memphis is fully healthy, and when New Orleans has a fully healthy team, it's a wide open. And Sacramento's having a good team.
Yeah.
I think they need another piece still. I mean,
Denver.
because here's the thing: Michael Porter Jr. just missed the last 2 games. Jokic has been off and on the past couple of games. They're not fully healthy. I think they need another piece.
No, they definitely do. It's just Van Vliet. I think that would make a little sense, I guess, because he can score too. I mean, I have him on fantasy, so I know like he got me a lot of points here recently. So he's a good player. Like don't get it twisted. He's definitely a good player.
An underdog his whole career too.
No, came out
non-power
Wichita
5, second round
State,
pick
yeah.
from Wichita State. Like
No, he's a solid player. He's just a solid
That's that Toronto development team over there.
It is.
They develop a lot of good
Pascal
players.
Siakam, 27th overall pick from New Mexico State. It's their whole team. Like OG Anunoby wasn't a big pick either.
Mm-mm.
Their whole team was.
A lot of their
Even
players,
Kawhi Leonard when he was there, like out of San Diego State, that's non-power 5.
No, they've homegrown a lot of their players, and even Kyle Lowry. I mean, they got him like not like a throwaway trade, but he wasn't like highly thought of when they got him. He was just like a okay player
From Houston. Yeah.
McDonald's every day.
Yeah.
Inspirational.
You know who else did? Mario Lemieux would eat McDonald's every day too, and I think Shaq did too.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
How would Shaq do in today's NBA, by the way?
I
He'd be
he would
dominant.
dominate
Oh,
it.
he dominated.
Dominate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's not even a question.
I mean, like, you would run a lot of the stretch 4s and 5s, like, on the 3-point line with him, just to get him out of the paint. Because a lot of those guys can shoot. And so, like, you have to play that way against Shaq, where, like, you got to spread the floor. Gets, like a Brook Lopez, he's out there on the line the whole game.
He is.
So that's like a factor. But if it's in the paint, nobody could touch Shaq. Joel Embiid, no. Anthony Davis, no.
It's
Rudy
weird.
Gobert, oh my gosh, I would love to see that.
It's really weird though because like Brook Lopez used to be a post guy for the Nets.
That's it.
Yep.
He was never a 3-point shooter, and now that's all he does.
But
Like
I
I've never
felt
seen
it,
someone adjust to a new game like him.
But that's the thing though. If you like,
Good players do.
that's why guys like Jahlil Okafor didn't work. That's why Dwight Howard, I think, kind of just like evaporated
But
as
that's
far
why
as
I
production
You just
Shaq,
goes.
hurt my
though.
heart.
I'm
with
sorry,
Jahlil
but no,
Okafor.
listen,
I had
no.
so much hope for him.
No, listen. When he came out, I thought he was going to be a solid player, but like
Greg Monroe too. He was
but
dominant.
But he came along when Steph Curry started to get going, like as far as his career goes. And after that, center started shooting threes. The big guy started shooting threes, and Jahlil Okafor never really adapted, and he just got lost. Now, if he came out in 2005, he would be a stud. I would have no doubts. I think Jahlil would be a stud, but it was a different game by the time he got there, and he had a good first. He had an okay first year in Philly, but after that, he just never really found his footing.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think he's on a G League team now. So,
That's so sad.
and he's not even. He's like 27 years old. He's not even old.
He was so good.
He was a rookie in like 2015.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing Pitt play Duke all the time when Jahlil Okafor was there. So it's like
That's
All right, I got another trade for you guys.
okay.
So the Wizards just sent Rui Hachimura to the Lakers in hopes for extending Kyle Kuzma. In this scenario, Kuzma opts out of his contract, goes to get the bag, and tells the Wizards front office, sorry, I'm not coming back. So they decide to trade him.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Kuzma goes to the Sacramento Kings, and in return, they get Malik Monk and a young prospect in Davion Mitchell.
The
I
real
would
D.
do that.
Mitchell.
for who?
Kyle Kuzma. I would do for Malik Monk and David Mitchell. I would do that.
Call me crazy, but Davion Mitchell, he's gonna. I like him a lot.
To a slow start.
I like him, but he's barely in the rotation.
He's about to say.
I think that has to do with I think you have to wait though a little bit for Mitchell though because he didn't play all his years. Davion Mitchell though defensively when he is out there he's locked down.
Oh, he definitely is.
I don't know because
But
like
if
you said
if you're the Kings and you're really trying to make a run this year, would you rather have
Which they're
Kuz?
not.
They're third place in the West right now.
What? When did that happen?
They're
Dude,
third place in the
West-
West.
Fall asleep?
No, the West is like they're like real like.
Yeah, the
from,
Kings
like,
have been killing
wait,
it.
what?
They have
No,
a
they've been on-
top-rated
they've been on-
offense in the league.
Yeah, they've been really good.
Yeah.
Bro, that just speaks for like their history.
No,
of how,
yeah,
like, I just haven't even looked at that.
yeah, they've been
Yeah.
doing really well.
Hold
So
on,
the
wait a
Kings,
minute.
they're right. They're not contenders, but if you want to get into that realm, I mean, Kuz is a stud.
No, he's had a really good year.
Bro,
That's,
what?
here's the thing, though, so-
27 and 20?
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Here's the thing. I think, like you said, Sacramento, they haven't been in the playoffs for like 15 years. They need some juice. And, like, I do think they could be a playoff team this year, but I think Kuzma, he'll get you 20 points a game, and you add that to your team. I think.
To the top-rated offense already.
That's what you have. DeMontis Sabonis has had a great year. Once again, he's on my fantasy team. I know that. De'Aaron Fox.
I hate your fantasy team, by the way.
I don't. I can see why. De'Aaron Fox, another stud. I mean, they have a good team. Kevin Huerter from the Hawks, my guy. Vanilla. No, I'm just joking. Kevin Huerter had averaging 16 points on my fantasy team. Know that well too. So they have a good solid squad. I think Kuzma. Well, I don't think he's not going to be like their end game piece. They're not going to win a championship. They might be a first, second round team at best. Yeah. But I mean, if you're a team, like think of it for baseball real quick. Pirates fans, like anything, just getting into the playoffs is a miracle in itself. And I think for the Kings fans, just getting into the playoffs, just getting a little taste, regardless of who they play in the first round, I think that would do a lot of wonders, honestly. So I would do the trade.
Yeah. I'd think about it a little bit more. I'd have to sleep on it.
If I'm the Kings, that's a no-brainer.
All right, Marshall, yay or nay?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely. Yeah.
Justin, yeah?
Yes, sir.
I mean, the only thing like, De'Aaron Fox is their starting point guard, but I'm just thinking about, like, Davion Mitchell. I think he's going to be a solid backup player.
I think Davion Mitchell is in the same situation as Tyrese. As in, he's a really good player. He needs to go somewhere else to shine.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's a fair trade. I mean, Washington, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So you have a young guy, you can build around, see what he has, like as offers to the table, and then Malik Monk's more of a throwaway piece at this point. He's not going to be a long-term answer in Washington, but the Kings, they get a guy that's a proven veteran who can score, and when he's right, he can score 40 points. I mean, any given night, we've seen that when he was the Lakers too, and the Wizards. So I think that's a no-brainer, honestly.
Yeah, I'd think about it. I'm just thinking about, like, you're taking a scoring option away with Monk, and you're taking, I don't know. I just think right now the Kings are clicking, and I think like they could use another move. I'd have to think about it a little bit more.
That's fair. That's fair. Mm-hmm. All right, this is another mid-tier trade. But we all know the Hornets. They have like the third worst record in the league.
Talk about Mel.
They're sellers.
They should trade Mason Plumlee, honestly.
Well,
they probably should.
Here you go. Mason Plumlee and P.J. Washington to the Warriors.
Okay.
Interesting.
For James Wiseman and Moses Moody. And then this is the part that I had a problem with. Is like, because there's going to be some pick swaps there. Who gives up picks? Is it the Warriors or the Hornets? I think if the Warriors are giving up picks, then they give up a first. If the Hornets are giving up picks, then they give up 2 seconds. And so the idea is you rebuild, right? You get off of the contracts of Plumlee's a sell high right now. He's been playing the best he has in the last few years. P.J. Washington, he's a really good young piece, but he's a restricted free agent. Do you want to re-sign him? And you get back 2 prospects in James Wiseman, who hasn't played the best, needs a new surrounding to just thrive, and then Moses Moody, who's another young prospect who's a shooting guard. So you have a young core that you're trying to build around of Ball, Wiseman, and Moody that you can try to develop.
That's actually an interesting trade. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Golden State one so far. I don't know if Golden State would be willing to part ways with those 2 guys, but at the same time, if you're trying to win now, I think. Plus, they don't play a lot either, so I think that would make some sense. Honestly, you think the Hornets, talk about a team that's mailed it in this year. I mean, my gosh, they should be a lot better than 11-34. I mean, I'm sorry.
This happens when you have a 20-point scorer.
I know Lamelo's been hurt most of the year, but like seriously, they should.
But Miles Bridges, like as soon as he's
I mean, like it just reeks of tanking for Victor. I mean, that's what it really does. Like, let's be real about it. Yeah. But I mean, I think if you rebuild, I think the thing is you don't want to pee off LaMelo Ball, because if he leaves, then you're like really screwed.
Well, he has his team option for the next 2 years, and then he's a restricted free agent. Yeah. And so he's not going anywhere, even if he wants to, for the next 4 or 5 years.
Here's the thing, that if I'm the Hornets, though, I'm definitely taking that trade.
Oh, no, for sure.
And I'll tell you why, because like James Wiseman is not even 22 yet.
Moody's not even 22 either. I don't even think.
And here's the thing, like you're getting rid of like Mason Plumlee. It almost reminds me kind of like of like an Adam Frazier. He was playing his best baseball whenever they sent him to the Padres. What Mason Plumlee's playing the best basketball of his career. I mean, he's always been a solid center for the Nets, for the Nuggets, whoever it may be. But he's having arguably his best season right now. So yes, go ahead, trade him while he's good. And for the Warriors, it's a good trade for now, honestly. I just don't know if I'd give up James Wiseman yet, though. What do you think, Marshall?
I like this trade a lot. You've got max 3 years left with Steph, Clay, and Draymond playing at a competitive level. I think Steph will play, at a high level longer than the other two, just because of injury history. And then Draymond is, he's Draymond. And so if you get a piece in Mason Plumlee now, I think you can win. I think that could turn their season around to make them consistent. I mean, the West is so tight. Like, it's like a 4-game spread from 3 to 13.
Exactly, yeah.
And so, they need every little piece they can get. And, they don't have much time left. I know they're building for the future around, Jordan Poole and Wiggs and all them. But this has been my favorite trade to talk about so far.
Honestly,
I think it's a really good trade for both teams, honestly.
I think it helps out both, yeah.
It does. I think the Hornets, they need some new young talent too.
Yeah.
Especially since you lost Miles Bridges, and then the Warriors, you're not giving up your entire future. You still have some pieces left over, and at the same time you get.
And you're hoping that if you're trading for PJ Washington, you have to re-sign him.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
No, yeah, for sure. No, so.
Question: what position does Victor play? Is he a 4?
He's a 4 or 5.
Yeah, since he's 7'4", I guess you kind of have to put him at the 5. But it's almost like a Chet Holmgren thing where, even though he's a center, he kind of can do it all.
Or Laurie, dude's 7 foot tall and he plays a 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but I'm just looking. They're just really hyping him up to be this next great player, and I just think we've seen with the Spurs, the Rockets, the Hornets. I just think they're all mailing it in, honestly. The Rockets, they're another team. Just real quick. I know they're rebuilding, but I think they should be a lot better, honestly. They have too many young pieces to be this bad. They really do.
They got no leadership. I mean, besides Eric Gordon, he's not your leader.
That should be a guy. He should be traded, too, honestly. Yeah. I don't know why he's still there. It's another issue.
All right, another trade that I think would help out both sides. The Los Angeles Clippers. Their two biggest needs right now are a ball distributor at the 1 and a backup big.
Mm-hmm.
So the Los Angeles Clippers get both of those in Robin Lopez, Ricky Rubio, and then Dylan Winder to match the salary from Cleveland. And in return, the Cleveland Cavaliers, their biggest need right now is a wing. So they get Robert Covington and 2 second-round picks.
And they're getting rid of Windler. Who are the other players?
They get rid of, this one hurts me, Ricky Rubio, Robin Lopez, and Dylan Windler.
For
Robin, Covington and 2 second-round picks.
Dude, if I were the Cavs.
Yeah, I would do that.
Robert Rocco, my boy Rocco. He's a
Rocco.
Tennessee State, small college guy right there. Yeah, give me Rocco because the thing is, he could shoot. He's a veteran player. He's been on, the Trailblazers. He's been on the Sixers. He's been on the Timberwolves, all these teams. He got a veteran player. He could shoot, too.
Yeah.
They need another wing shooter as well.
So you would have a starting lineup of Garland, Mitchell, Covington, Mobley, and Allen.
Give me that trade. Yeah. I love Rubio. He's a great guy to take off the bench, but you need to really bolster that small forward position. I'd do it.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer to me, honestly.
And plus, you're getting rid of Dylan Windler. I mean, he could potentially still become a good basketball player, so it's not like you're getting rid of nothing. It's at least a solid even trade, I'd say.
Yeah. Because
Robert Covington, I think, he's probably peaked already, so it's like...
yeah, he's 32.
Yeah, you're
but he's signed for 2 years, so you at least kind of have that window where you can really make a push.
Yeah, I definitely did if I were Cleveland.
Fair enough.
Yo. So I got 3.
Okay.
3 trades. We're going to do rapid fire with them.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
They all center around the man with the greatest hit song after his name of all time, Mo Bamba. All right. We're just going to do rapid fire. Answer if this is a good trade.
All
You
right.
ready? The Magic get Joe Harris, Day'Ron Sharpe, 2 second-round picks. The Nets get Terrence Ross and Mo Bamba. Yay or nay?
For the Nets, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
What do you think, Gabe?
Yeah, I think so. The Magic have such a pile up in their front court that to get rid of Mo Bamba, I don't think it hurts. So, yeah.
You ready for the second one? Warriors get Mo Bamba. I just love looking at his picture. The Magic get James Wiseman and Ryan Rollins.
James Wiseman.
I wouldn't do that one if I'm the Magic, just because, like I said, you already have so many front court players and people you're trying to develop. So I wouldn't do that if I'm the Magic.
Yeah,
I'm in the same boat.
You think I should do the trade?
No, with Gabe.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm gonna say no.
All right. The third and final Mo Bamba trade. All right. Clippers get Mo Bamba.
Okay.
Bucks get Robert Covington. The Magic get George Hill and Grayson Allen.
Magic at George Hill and Grayson Allen.
The Magic have so many guards already.
But the thing is, they have a ton of front court pieces like Wendell Carter and Mo Bamba though too, and they have Moritz Wagner as well. Oh,
I think I must lean no on that one. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't take that one either.
Even if the Clippers get Mo Bamba.
Yeah,
And the
I
Bucks
think
get Robert Covington.
I think Bamba to the Clippers and Covington to the Bucks. It's nice, but I don't think the Magic would agree to that.
No, not for no.
I mean, you're young. Why would you take on Grant Hills, who's super old, and then who was the other person?
Grayson
Allen.
Yeah,
I mean,
who's okay, but
he's come on.
He's an enforcer.
He is. That's one would describe him.
Yeah, those are my three. Those are literally all the trades I came prepared with. So
okay.
Shoot.
I have also rapid fire.
Okay, let's go.
They're not surrounded around Mo Bamba.
All right.
4 trades surrounded around John Collins.
Oh, here we go.
interesting.
Here we go. I'm gonna start off. Let's start off with maybe my least favorite one. Okay. My least favorite trade. I made this and I was like, this is really good. And then I look back on it. I was like, this is not really good. All right. The Magic get John Collins. The Hawks get Terrence Ross, Marshall's boy Mo Bamba, young guard Cole Anthony, and 2 second-round picks.
I thought you said that these trades didn't center around Mo Bamba, but it sounds like they do.
Can you repeat it one more time for me?
I go.
The Magic get
Golden.
John Collins.
A young
The Hawks
Where's Ollie?
like my brother Mo. I'm sorry, go ahead. My bad.
The Hawks get Terrence Ross, who's a salary filler, but a good guard. They get Mo Bamba, a young center, Cole Anthony, a young guard, and 2 second-round picks. And the Magic get John Collins.
If I'm the Hawks, I'm pulling that. Yeah, but if I'm the Hawks, I don't. Wait, if I'm the Hawks, I'm pulling that. If I'm the Magic, I just think that might be a little much for just. John Collins is good, but
You would have him for 4 years.
Wait, who's the
Forward
3
and
players?
things.
They get Mo Bamba, Cole Anthony, and who?
Ross.
I would do that. I mean, Cole Anthony's not healthy. He's very rarely healthy. He's a good player. Mo Bamba.
he's still young though too. Though
He is, but
He's like 21, 22, but he's very up and down.
Yeah.
Mo Bamba, it's kind of like, you have a lot of guys in the kitchen now with the Magic. And then, you mentioned the third guy. Yeah, I would do that. John Collins is like a borderline all-star, I think. And I think
He averaged 20 and 10 a couple of years.
Yeah, but he would definitely add juice to the Magic. I think that would take him to maybe like a borderline playing spot at that point. So, I mean, the Magic, they're kind of weird too. They have a lot of young players on that roster, but they're still like, they're a little better this year, but they're still not good. So
They got a lot of young pieces, and they've had points in the season where they've gone on hot streak. They beat Boston 3 times.
no, they have talent. That talent's not the issue. It's just youth.
Yeah.
That's what
But
it is.
John Collins is a little bit older. He could be a
Yes.
veteran.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to play with Trey anymore. He could step into more of a leadership role.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'd be interesting. All right, here's the next one.
I do that.
John Collins. We're going to rapid fire these
Okay.
3. Straight up, 1 for 1. Draymond Green for John Collins.
No.
No.
Are you
I would
serious?
not. Yeah,
No.
That'd be dumb.
Draymond Green's.
I would. Here's the thing. For the Magic though, like that trade before. Yeah. If I'm just thinking about that trade, John Collins is good, but I just think I don't know. I have high hopes for Cole Anthony still.
Let me ask you this real quick: is Cole Anthony gonna be a superstar or even an all-star?
You never know.
Probably
You
not.
never know. He could be a good player.
He's not going to be a superstar. He may have a all-star season.
Yep.
Yeah,
He could be solid.
I'd rather have John Collins.
But you're also getting rid of Mo Bamba too. And what was the other
But
player
you
too?
have Terrence Ross, who's old.
And Terrence, but he could shoot the lights out.
Colin.
I mean, I don't know. I think, but here's the thing: like John Collins has been injured a lot this year too. So I mean, it just I don't
Cole
know.
Anthony's barely plays either. Like when he
plays pretty consistently.
Bet
At least
he's
this
played more.
season.
Yeah, he has.
the past couple years he's barely played, and when he plays he's very good. But when he doesn't,
So you would say no, Tony?
I would say, yeah,
Okay,
no,
that's
I
fair.
would
That's
say
fair.
no.
You're not the GM, but that's
John
fair.
Collins isn't worth those 3 players.
20 and 10.
'cause
John Collins.
But here's the thing: it's Mo Bamba, and
But you still
you're
have
getting both too.
You still have Jonathan Isaac. You still have Wendell Carter Jr. You still have Mo Wagner. Like those are 3 big men right there.
Not to mention all the other guys. I mean, Paul Benchera, for gosh.
Yeah,
but he's
and
a
then-
forward though.
Well, I'm just saying, guys, you have on the roster. Like it wouldn't kill them if they got rid of those 3
But
guys.
you would have a surplus at that position then, like the
You already
3/4.
do have a surplus.
I mean, regardless, the Magic have a bunch of surplus everywhere you look anyway. So
They just don't have wings. They
Accurate.
have bigs and guards.
But that's why I don't think they need John Collins
That's fair. Okay,
he
that's
can't
fair.
because he can't shoot at anywhere else out of 15 feet. So I mean,
the Hawks receive Ben Simmons.
oh gosh,
The Nets, right? The Nets, they give up on Ben Simmons, and in return, they get John Collins, a backup big in Frank Kaminsky, and salary cap filler in Justin Holiday.
absolutely not. If I were the Hawks, I would decline that trade.
what was the trade again?
The Hawks get Ben Simmons, and the Nets receive Justin Holiday, Frank Kaminsky, and John Collins.
Decline that trade. I would.
Yeah, what would they do? Run
I would-
Ben at the 3?
Yeah, I would say.
And
The
Trey
yeah,
Hawks.
at the
I
1?
mean, a pick and roll between Trey Young and Ben Simmons would be nice.
that's
yeah, that pick and
that's
pop
all.
would be
That's,
deadly.
that's good. That's all good and dandy. But Ben Simmons, if you can't score 0 points, 25 minutes in, I don't want you. I'm sorry.
But you get right. Okay, Atlanta has one of the worst defenses in the league. You get defense.
He's a
and
much
Ben
better
Simmons.
defender than John
No,
Collins.
he is. That is true.
You get defense, and you don't need him to score when you have Trey Young, DeJounte Murray, who are going to be the primary ball handler. So you take the ball out of Ben Simmons' hands. You use him as a defensive piece. Use him to get boards, to distribute when he needs to, and you use him in a role that suits him, not as a scorer.
But he has that in Brooklyn, and he's still like.
I wouldn't say he has a role as a scorer in Brooklyn with KD and
That's what he's saying.
Kyrie
He's not.
Irving.
But what I'm saying is, like, he just outlined what he thinks he should be in Atlanta. He's supposed to be that in Brooklyn, and he's not even doing that well.
I mean, yeah, you're right, but I just think that like a change of scenery would definitely help too.
How many
though.
changes of scenery
His
does he
second change
need?
of scenery.
I mean, he went from Philadelphia. I mean, and like at some
I
point,
have a question though. How big's New York?
I understand it's a very big city, but
If you're
Atlanta's-
thinking of a change of scenery, the last place you want to go is to New York City.
Yep.
but at the same,
Seriously,
this isn't the
better
Knicks. This
Los
is the
Angeles.
Nets. I understand
It doesn't
it's
matter. The Nets are big. They're big still.
Okay, but, like-
you have Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Brooklyn's
Oh,
like.
listen, if you can't, it's one of those things you got to figure it out, man. Like I'm a Ben Simmons guy. I defended him.
I like him.
I like him too. I don't think he's a terrible person. I defended him in Philadelphia in that Hawks series, but at some point, man, like
Imagine the Hawks series, and then you go to the Hawks.
That'd be crazy.
That would be wild.
Yay or nay, Marshall Bruce? What do you say?
No.
No,
Yeah, I
It doesn't
wouldn't
make
do it.
sense.
nobody.
I
Nobody
just-
does
no.
it. Okay, last John Collins trade. This is my favorite one. The Hawks receive for salary filler, salary match, Duncan Robinson, Max Strus, and the real piece that they get is a young prospect in Nikola Jovic, and the first round top 3 protected 2028 pick. And the Heat receive John Collins.
It's a pretty fair deal.
Yeah, I think I'd do that.
So the Heat would run Kyle Lowry, Gabe Vincent, or Victor Oladipo, Jimmy Butler, John Collins, and Bam Adebayo.
I'd do that if I were the Heat.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting one, actually.
And then the Hawks get a nice young prospect in Nikola.
Nikola Jovic. Yeah, I mean, I think I'd do that, honestly.
I'd do it if I were the Heat. I think their window is not open forever. I mean, Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, they're not exactly the youngest anymore. Even Duncan Robinson, he played all his years at Michigan. He's not really, I mean, he's still young, but like how many more years, like he's going to be at his peak soon. Right now, I think it's win and now, or, forever hold your peace, I guess you could say. You saw them make the finals against the Lakers a couple years ago. I mean, how much more will this team have in the tank? I know Bam's young and stuff like that, but yeah, I take John Collins for that.
Yeah, just real quick on Miami. They made a mistake giving Duncan Robinson that contract. That was a really big mistake. And, that was the thing with the bubble. Like, the Heat were a good team regardless of the bubble, but it's just they had guys in that team that really, they went from good to, borderline superstar level. We saw Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, even Jimmy Butler was given 40-point triple doubles. That team, they kind of overachieved that year. Let's be real about it. So I just think Miami's ceiling, I just don't take them seriously as a championship team.
But if they had John Collins, do you think they'd be a contender? I think they'd be more of a contender than they are now.
I think they would.
Well, I mean, in fairness, they did make the conference finals last year. I'll give them that. But I just don't think they have. If Jimmy Butler is your best player right now, no disrespect, he's a very good player, but you're not going anywhere with Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler in the playoffs is different. He's a beast in the playoffs.
As your best player.
Him.
If he's your best player, you're not winning a championship. As your second best, maybe, but as your best, no.
Here's my thought on it, is if you get John Collins and you have Bam Adebayo and you have Jimmy Butler and then you still keep all that depth as well, I think they can match up with Boston. Definitely. If you had John Collins, I mean, yeah, definitely. Because now that makes it a lot tougher on not just them, but for the Bucks too and all that.
I mean,
I was not fond of the Mo Bamba and Cole Anthony one, but I feel like they're giving up less to get John Collins in this deal. I think if you add, like you said it yourself, an all-star. So if you add an all-star to that lineup, I think all of a sudden you got some issues.
No, they're definitely better. They're not worse. I don't want to put that impression out there, but I just think they need a really a superstar. I think Miami, if they want to take that next level from being a really good team to a team that could seriously no one wants to play in the playoffs, I think they need that big player.
Yeah, but my only thing is I think the league. I think if you have 3 all-stars, you'll have Adebayo, John Collins, and Jimmy Butler. And you got a walking bucket in Tyler Hero as well.
Oh you're my gosh, 4 deep. I forgot about Tyler Hero.
You're 4 deep right there.
Guy.
And
that's the 2 who you run. Yeah.
I just think that, and you still, Oladipo wasn't in that trade, right?
No.
You still have him too.
A lineup of Lowry, Hero, Butler, Collins, and Bam? That's a contender.
It's a good team, but I just don't. You have good players.
Match.
What's that?
It depends how they play together.
Yeah.
On paper, that's a great team.
It's just Miami. They have a lot of really good players, but they don't have that one guy. It's oh my gosh, we absolutely fear him.
If John Collins goes to Miami, he becomes the next Lauri Markkanen, where he blows up.
Without minus the shooting though.
Minus the shooting,
yeah.
But as far as progress, I think he needs to get away from trade to kind of spread his wings a little bit.
No, I agree with that statement. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I just don't think they would still be better than Miami or even Milwaukee when they're at full strength. Or not Miami.
Boston.
Boston, yeah.
So yay or nay? Do you take that trade, Marshall Bruce?
If I'm Miami, I do. Yeah, I do the trade all around.
Tony?
I'd take it for both sides.
Justin?
I would still do the trade, of course.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's shoot.
Does anyone else have any other trades? I got a couple more.
I have one.
Go for it, Tony.
Here we go. So I got one right here. Give me 1 sec to view it real fast. So I have the Wizards trading Kyle Kuzma to the Milwaukee Bucks for Pat Connaughton, Grayson Allen, and a first-round pick.
Interesting.
You guys can go
They
first.
still keep Chris Middleton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Chris Middleton's making 35 M's.
I'm thinking of it as a trade to get someone in Kyle Kuzma, since Middleton's have the injury history. So now you actually have a reliable second option.
So then
for
the
Giannis.
Wizards get He's not. He's still semi-young. A prospect in Allen and a first round, and then
And Pat Connaughton too.
distance filler. Who's been okay?
Yeah, he can shoot, and his vertical is 45 inches too. And he played baseball at Notre Dame and basketball.
The
at Notre
man's
Dame.
a stat book.
Yeah, he
This
does.
man's a stat
Pat
book.
Connaughton does it all though. I don't know. He's one of the most underrated athletes in the NBA. So that's
No, he-
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I would do the trade. I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
Milwaukee, listen, they're in a win now mode. I mean, that's pretty obvious. So
I think they do the trade.
Yeah, I think they do that too.
If you're Washington, do you take the Kings trade or do you take the Milwaukee trade?
Ooh.
Do you take Malik Monk and Davion Mitchell, or do you take Connaughton, Allen, and a first?
So basically, it would
That's
come down
tough.
to would you you have a semi commodity in Davion Mitchell and a draft pick that's probably going to be pick 25, pick 30. I would take Davion Mitchell.
I probably would still take the Kings pick, but that was just a thought
That's
for
a
the
good-
Bucks
that's a
to
good
get.
trade,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd probably go to the Kings pick because I'm high up on Davion Mitchell, especially. I don't know what it is. I'm a college basketball fan too, but I went to a Cavs game where the Kings played them last year. Dude's still a tenacious defender. I think he could be like he's 24. I get that's not. He still played his time at Baylor. But like I just still think that he could be a Patrick Beverley, but with more skill.
I just think too, like I've always said this with all the leagues, like future draft picks, prospects in baseball, whatever. They're not like known commodities, and I think Davion Mitchell, we kind of know who he is, not completely, but we have an idea. In Washington, let's be real, they haven't had the best draft history. So I think taking someone who's going to be a decent role player at worst over a guy who might be a total bust, I think you have to do that trade. Hypothetically, if we compare the two.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So you mentioned Pat Beverly.
Yeah, Pat Bev. Oh, do you have him in a trade?
I do.
Oh, let's just get it.
This is the best.
The Let me repeat that. Trailblazers. The Trailblazers receive Pat Beverly and a first-round pick from the Lakers
Oh boy.
in return for Josh Hart.
No, you can't. They would
Wait,
never do it.
Wait, so Pat Bev and
Put
who
Pat
else?
Bev
First round
next
pick.
to
For Josh Hart.
Damian Lillard. You put them on the same roster? There's no way.
Oh, that's a
Josh Hart has been playing well, but he's kind of recently Nasir Little's taken up his minutes, and he hasn't been playing well the last couple of weeks.
So the Blazers are getting the first round
The
pick,
Blazers get the first-round pick from LA, the 2029.
and Josh Hart returns to the Lakers.
Yeah. So the Lakers would run a lineup of Schroeder, Hart, James, Hachimura, Anthony.
See, here's my opinion on it. I like Josh Hart. He's a good shooter. I just don't know if it's worth giving up a first round pick, especially knowing that they're like lower on the spectrum right now for him. And you also just added Rui Hachimura. I think that they made the move they needed to make already. So just because of that, I wouldn't do it if I were them. But
The Lakers did announce that they're willing to move one of the first round picks. Now-
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would want to. Yeah, like Josh Hart would help though, because like they need another shooter.
Yeah.
What do you
And he gets
get?
a ton of rebounds.
Can't get enough shooting when you have LeBron James on the floor. Like, the more shooters around him, the better.
Pretty much. I agree.
I could never see the Blazers doing that. Like, now, if you like take out Patrick Beverly and I don't know, put in another player, I think they would do it. But you can't put Pat Bev and Damian Lillard on the same team.
Well, Pat Bev would come off the bench. He wouldn't be in the same
yeah.
rotation as Dame.
But just being in the same locker room and everything, like, you know, Damian Lillard takes no disrespect.
I mean, he was able to get along with Russ, and they had a bunch of beef.
They did. But Damian Lillard is different.
That's
I
true.
think.
It's true.
I don't know. I just can't see it happening.
Yeah,
I'm going to say no on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. I think the Lakers, it wouldn't be a bad trade just because the first round is just so 2029. I mean, who knows what the league's gonna look like? 6 years from now, a lot can happen. And I think the Lakers, they do have this luxury, but they better realize it quick before they blow it. But I do think they need to get their whole management thing, like with Ginny Boss, they need to get that under control. And if they can get all that drama out, like they can still be a premier destination for stars. And if they can get back on track like that, that could be like their saving grace as opposed to doing a full-on straight rebuild.
Yeah.
If they can get if once LeBron retires, whatever he does with his son, if they can get Anthony Davis to be semi what he was pre championship bubble, and then you can get a second star and start to rebuild a super team or something like that, I think that's possible too. But I think a lot has to go right for that to happen though. But that's another issue.
So Marshall, you said you don't take it.
Nope.
Justin, do you take it?
I would take it, yes.
Okay.
I would do the trade.
Tony, do you take that trade?
I'd take it, yeah.
Okay.
I have another one, though.
Go for it.
I literally just made it.
Big Tony, it.
I heard Terrence Ross's name earlier, and and now we're talking about Pat Bev and stuff. Pat Bev and 3 second-round picks for Terrence Ross. Lakers get a shooter.
Okay. They just gave up 3 for Rui. So you give up your other 3 for Terrence Ross. So they would run Schroeder, Ross. Who would be the 3?
LeBron
and AD would play the 4. Oh, yeah. LeBron would be the 3, Rui at the 4, and AD at the 5.
That guy, LeBron James.
LeBron James.
LeBron
He was
James.
9 of 14 from 3 the other night, which is
goodness.
Marshall, would you do that trade? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat. I mean, you get some more picks as the Magic, and so you just keep rebuilding. Get Pat Bev, get a somewhat of a veteran. Lakers get a shooter.
Yeah, I think
it's a win-win.
Yeah, that's pretty. You bring a vet personality into the locker room of Orlando, kind of like what Pat Bev did in Minnesota when he won one playoff series and took his shirt off and ran around. I think you bring some leadership to Orlando. I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even. First of all, I was playing tournament game. That's another issue. No, I'm just messing with you. But yeah, I would do it. But well, why not? I mean,
bro, it felt like a Game 7.
Yeah, I think if you're Orlando, you have nothing to lose there.
no.
You really don't.
Yeah.
Honestly, Orlando's they're still just building a lot still.
Yeah,
They had those brief times where they made the playoffs against the Raptors.
Yeah, that was.
They had that one game where it's we can make this a series, and all of a sudden it was the Raptors just mowed them.
Yeah,
They actually put up a fight.
They got the classic case of being mediocre, and they realized,
Orlando
Nicole.
has some pieces.
Now they do, but Nicole Vucevic is our best player. Yeah, we're screwed.
Yeah. Gordon. Well, who was
Aaron
it? Gordon,
yeah,
Vooch, and
You
who
know what,
else?
though? I will say this though.
Terrence Ross.
Nikola Vucevic, though, if you go up, he's one of the most consistent players in the 2010s.
No, he's a good player.
He's honestly, if you look at his numbers compared to how Dwight Howard played with the Magic, they're actually not that much different.
No, don't do that.
I'm allowed
Don't do
to.
that.
I'm allowed to.
Don't do that.
Stats don't lie.
You heard it here first from
Stats
Tony.
don't care about your
Vooch,
feelings.
Vooch is better than Dwight.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not saying he's better, but if
That's
you
what I
compare
heard.
him,
He's not even comparable.
that's
he's a double. He's
Hey,
a walking
it's
double.
I will say
he's a walking double.
Only one of them is playing in the NBA right now.
Mm-hmm. It's Vucevic.
No, I can't argue that, but at the same time, I mean, is Vucevic ever gotten any MVP votes or Defensive Player of the Year votes?
Oh, he
Was
hasn't
he
got.
arguably a top 5 player in the whole game at one point?
I have a
curious.
question though.
Okay, I have an
Did
answer.
I ever say he was better?
But you're acting like he's comparable, though.
He is.
He's not, though.
If you look at the numbers, look him
No,
up.
no, you
the
can't-
dude's
that's why you
like
can't look at numbers
dude's like
all
an
the time.
18 and 11 guy for the Magic. Same with Dwight Howard.
That's why.
He's a better defender. That's what separates it. That's what I said.
my- he's just a
You're just mad.
just that
my God.
small little information.
Just defensively, he's a little better.
He's just a DPOY
You just move on.
candidate.
Yeah, I might be
But who's the
wrong.
better? Who's the better 3-shooter?
3-time
Oh,
DP.
my. Oh, really?
Who's a better free throw shooter, Gabe or Dwight Howard?
Oh,
Gabe.
I'm pretty bad at free throws. I can't.
But you're
hit
still
them.
better than Dwight Howard
better.
at free
I'm-
throws.
I'm like Shaq
Here's the
with
thing.
free throws.
Here's the thing. Dwight Howard is better than Nikola Vucevic.
You know what?
Thank you. Let's just clear that up.
No,
Okay,
I'll
I
say
cleared
one
that
more
up
thing.
twice already. He's trying to. He's putting words in my
I'm
mouth.
not going to spend 30 minutes on ridiculous subjects as this, but I will say this. When I get to your house, I'm going to pull up their stats, advanced stats.
I'll
I'm
pull
going
them
to
up
pull
now.
No.
Why? You don't want to
Give
get
him
called
another
out on the
trade.
podcast?
You have another trade?
I got a pretty wild one. I don't know
Let's dive into
if it
it.
will ever happen. But the Clippers go all in.
Okay.
Oh,
All in.
Not all in.
All in. They go double in.
They fire their front office.
Oh, gosh.
Oops. I hit the mic.
It's the only way I could see it.
The
moving
Clippers send out Robert Covington, Luke Kennard,
Okay.
Terrence Mann,
forward. Okay.
a 2023 first-round pick who OKC has the rights to swap with, and a 2029 unprotected pick to the Minnesota
Oh,
Timberwolves.
shoot.
for Karl Anthony Towns.
I say do it.
So the Clippers get obviously a big man who can shoot.
Full send. Do it.
Top 30 player in the league. And the Wolves get 2 picks, but they also get a really good young prospect in Terrence Mann and a still kind of young good shooter in Kennard.
What's Cat's contract look like?
Cat, oh man, he's gonna bag. 6 years, $33.8 million.
I'm about to do it again, but I saw Terrence Mann play in college at Florida State. But yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, but
who hasn't this man seen play?
Oh, that's what I'm
For
saying.
real.
But I'm just trying to think like of the deal. If I'm the Clippers, I'm going all in on that. But I don't think that.
All in.
But here's the thing: Minnesota just went all in on Rudy Gobert,
and now they go all out.
No, they're going all out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
they recover some draft capital. They get a couple young prospects, and they get Covington, who's a good rotational piece.
Yeah,
it's a good trade. But if I'm the Timberwolves,
I would say no.
Here's the thing: I've already put all my chips on the table from the Timberwolves. I'm gonna leave my. I'm just gonna leave it as.
And your buns right now.
They're buns right now.
I mean, there's like you said, the West is really stacked through to 13. So if they get win 5 games in a row, they're probably looking at a top 4 seed.
Their best player right now is Kyle Anderson.
No.
Yes.
I'd say
yes.
Wait, he's on Memphis though.
Kyle Anderson? He's on the Timberwolves.
Slow-mo?
Where have you been? He's on the Timberwolves.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We were. You know why I said that? Because we were watching Memphis play the Timberwolves
last night. Yeah.
And he had that nice dish.
To Rudy.
Yeah. Rudy. Oh, my bad.
He's not their best player.
Slow-mo.
Wait, don't disrespect Kyle Anderson.
Anthony Edwards is their best player.
Don't disrespect Kyle Anderson. He's their best player.
He's a good role player. Stop it.
Anthony Edwards, by the way.
He's having 25. Anthony Edwards.
Wait, speaking about that, who did Anthony Edwards dunk on last year? Yuta Watanabe.
I don't even know
that was disrespectful.
That was really bad. Yuta Watanabe.
Who he
single-handed
played for
Brooklyn. He's the best shooter on Brooklyn.
In all honesty, I saw him. Yeah, that's the guy I was saying. He played for George Washington.
Did you see him play in college too?
I did with George Washington with Ty Kavanaugh. Yeah, but
did you see me play in college?
What's that?
Intramurals?
Did I see? I did not see him.
I saw him play in
college. I saw him at the boys' club. Yeah, he's actually played with
America.
Yeah, I actually saw him lose to Dwight Powell in the tournament.
Dwight Powell.
I actually wasn't there for that, but they did. But how about this? Andrew Wiggins, Joel Embiid lost to Stanford and Dwight Powell in college.
That's because Dwight Powell is the best player out of those 3.
Yeah, that's Luka's guy right there.
Yeah. It definitely is. Definitely is.
I looked at the numbers too. Dwight Howard does have better numbers than Vucevic, like I said, but it's not by a lot. It's 17 to 11 to 18 to 13.
I'm not gonna argue that. It's not even worth talking about.
Yeah,
because I'll end up throwing out the window.
I'm a pound into your head.
All right,
Tony. Do you take that trade?
Do I take that trade? If I am
Cat to the Clips.
If I'm the Clippers, heck yeah. If I'm the Timberwolves, like I said, I'm just seeing how the wind takes them.
All right, Justin.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those 50-50 propositions. Timberwolves I think would decline that in a heartbeat. But at the same time, if the Clippers have a chance to get someone like that to add to their big 2, they have a big 3, like a legit big 3 now. Yeah, you have to do that. I mean, now you're talking like title favorites too. If they were to get it hypothetically, I mean,
that'd be wild. Marshall,
yeah, I do it.
You do it.
I do it.
Does anyone else have any other ones? Because I got maybe 1 or 2 more.
I mean, I don't.
We've done a lot of trades. So
hasn't come up yet.
Who
is Luka's children, the Phoenix Suns?
Oh,
they have not been included in a trade yet.
That's interesting.
I tried a couple.
Here's the thing with Phoenix. Like, I think it's at this point like. You don't blow it up yet because, like, Devin Booker is going to be back soon, and they're definitely still going to be at least a play-in or a playoff team. Yeah. So I just ride it out, and I don't. It's probably closed, but you might as well try one more time.
Yeah. Their window, I think, is championship window is closed, man. They had those 2 years, man. They were up in the series against Milwaukee. They lost.
That was their chance.
Last year was really their chance. They were the best team. The regular season, like by far last year, and then like you said, they got Luka in the second round, and they've just never really recovered. And then they have the whole thing with their owner, the whole drama behind that too. Guys weren't healthy. Chris Paul's missed some time,
and the drama with
Ayton, the whole issue there.
He won in this on the Pacers.
He did, and then they matched the offer.
Yeah.
So I just think with Phoenix, like they could still be good in the future. Like, they're young enough, Booker in particular, so is Ayton. We kind of know who Ayton is as a player. I don't think he's going to get any better. He's going to be like 15-10 pretty much his career. And once again, that was probably he's a bust. Okay, I'm not going to say bust.
Oh, yeah, I want to say a bust.
Well,
but
Luka was on the board.
Considering who
First
was drafted,
overall pick.
Consider who's drafted after him.
Luka, Trae Young.
That's kind of a miss there. I'm sorry. Like, he's a good player.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing, though. 4 teams passed up on Luka.
Yeah.
And DeAndre Ayton's not the worst player out of those 4 before him.
Marvin Bagley is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But it's just,
Detroit legend Marvin
But when
Bagley.
you have the number 1 overall pick, like, you got to hit.
He's a good rapper.
Man. Like, you got to hit.
Marvin Bagley.
Yeah.
All right. I know we're running short on time. Can I rapid fire just
Let's do
one
it.
word, yes or no?
Let's do it.
Okay. The Raptors' biggest need is a pass-first guard. So the Raptors get T.J. McConnell from Indiana and Langston Galloway as cap filler for Chris Boucher. Yay or nay?
Oh, absolutely. I
did.
love
Who?
T.J. McConnell.
Chris Boucher. Stretch big. This man's disrespecting
He played for Oregon.
Chris Boucher. Yay or nay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
McConnell.
all the way
Shout
around.
T.J. McConnell.
Shout out
he went to
Charters
his
Valley.
high school.
Same high school. Let's go.
Dude, TJ
Knows
McConnell,
that, too.
He's right now. He's hot with Halliburton.
He's
now.
playing good.
He's playing really good.
Yeah.
He could flourish there in Toronto.
He's always
Okay,
been solid.
he has. The Warriors receive Kelly Olynyk. They give up JaMychal Green and James Wiseman.
I would not give up.
No,
I would
nay.
not give up Wiseman for
Nay. Not for
Olynyk,
Kelly Olynyk.
especially after what he did to Kevin Love. I still think
that
about
was like
that.
5-6 years ago, dude.
No, it was over that.
No.
That's just a long time
almost
ago.
8 years ago.
Never.
It was that
Yeah.
long?
Yeah, well,
Whoa.
2015 playoffs.
Oh, that is
Never forget.
8 years ago? Wow.
Old
Not
man.
Kevin Love, man. Not Kevin Love.
Okay, let's say the Raptors strike.
Don't mess with Kevin Love. Don't mess with
The Raptors strike out on TJ McConnell. In my opinion, because I like him, the best ball distributor, backup guard. The Raptors receive Ricky Rubio. The Cavs receive Otto Porter Jr. and a first-round pick.
Couldn't they just do the one for one? I think they team up to attach a first rounder to that.
Yes.
Well, Otto Porter is injured for the whole season.
Oh.
But he has a 2-year deal, so he'll be there next year.
I wouldn't do it for the Cavs just because you have Okoro and Osman. I think like Porter's a good player, but who knows how he's gonna be whenever like he's back and stuff. And plus, he's not exactly young
pretty
anymore.
old.
Yeah, I think I would pass.
He was in the
that.
same draft. He was like 2013 draft, so he's been.
So no.
If it
I
means
did
throwing
not
a
pass.
first round pick. No.
All right, last one. Let's end it off with a spicy one.
A sexy one.
The
That's a good word.
Charlotte Hornets.
Yes.
The tanking, one of the worst teams in the league, receive
Tanking for Scoot.
Benjamin Simmons.
Oh, gosh.
The Nets receive Kelly Oubre Jr. and Terry Rozier.
Interesting.
Hell no.
Scary Terry's good. That's the thing.
And Kelly's he's a good shooter
Yeah.
Why would the Hornets want Ben Simmons?
because he's a young player who has
I know,
really
I
good
get
defense.
it.
Can
I
you
get
imagine?
it.
He won a Rookie of the Year over Donovan Mitchell.
Can you imagine
Yeah,
a
crazy.
LaMelo
He hasn't gotten
Ball?
better since.
Can you imagine a LaMelo
worse.
Ball and Ben Simmons pick and roll?
Yeah, that pick and pop would be deadly, man.
LaMelo Ball and Ben Simmons pick and roll.
If I'm the Hornets, no. I don't give up
Scary Terry is solid.
Kelly Oubre has 1 year left on his deal, and Scary Terry has 4 years at $20 million. If you're the Hornets, you don't want that deal. I would rather have Ben Simmons at $30 million for 2 more years and try to at least revive him a little bit.
I think
You're a tanking team. What do you have to lose?
Here's the only thing I do like about
He'll
the trade,
sell
though.
tickets.
It's like LaMelo is their point guard. I
Yeah.
think Terry would like be in a better system with the Nets, honestly, playing with Kyrie and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
don't
Scary
know.
Terry would want that, but
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I just think Ben Simmons at this point, I think he's just damaged goods, man. I mean,
So if you're damaged goods, come to the Hornets. We're a damaged team. We're not winning any games.
they do
Might
make
as
a
well
good
let him
partnership.
flourish with no pressure.
that-
Ben, just play ball. Don't worry about it. We're not doing anything. Come play with LaMelo.
Yeah. You know what? It's honestly not as bad as we think it is.
No.
Like,
Wait,
not.
so I was like out of it. I was texting someone. So like, who was the players they would give up for
Ben Simmons to
Yeah,
the Hornets for Kelly Oubre Jr.
Okay. Kelly Oubre.
and Terry Rozier.
Terry Rozier.
I think it's not that bad, honestly.
I don't think I'd do that trade. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't do that trade.
I wouldn't do it.
I still have hope for Ben Simmons.
I do
don't know.
too.
I think it missing like all the games in the last year definitely hurts him a lot this year. I think he'll bounce back eventually.
That's
my thought.
I think he is what he is at this point, which is, I listen, I don't like saying this. Like, I like Ben Simmons too. Like, it's just I just don't think whatever he's going through, it's clearly his play has been hindered significantly. Even in Philly, I mean, it's just, I don't know.
You want to hear a fun fact about Ben Simmons?
Sure.
You saw him play in college?
I did not.
No.
In Australia?
But I got the same guy who recruited Ben Simmons to LSU was the assistant coach at St. Mary's. He's the same guy who recruited Matthew Dellavedova and Patty Mills, both Australian players, to St. Mary's before he went to LSU.
He's on the Kings, too.
Yeah. Delly, he's a veteran presence the Kings need. That's why they're so good now.
Yeah. That's all the trades I have.
Yeah, I'm about to say, it's probably a good time to end it, too, anyway. If you have anything else to say, real quick.
Yeah.
Let's go Celtics.
Let's go Cavs.
Send Ben to Charlotte.
Send Ben to Charlotte.
Hashtag send Ben to Charlotte with a little bow tie.
Bow tie.
And I'm talking about the pasta.
It's actually good pasta, though.
It's great pasta.
It is.
Yeah.
Facts.
But that was our NBA trade show, I guess, talk show, whatever you want to call
Tell
it.
them where you can find the podcast.
Yes, I am going to tell them that. You can find our podcast on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, pretty much wherever your podcast. Just search the Rossetti and Stewart Podcast. Special thank you to the Roman Empire, Gabriel Roman, for coming on too. Also, Marshall Bruce Masters, a.k.a. Eminem. Thank you for coming on the show too. Yes, I said that.
Thank you guys for coming on.
Yeah, much appreciated though. But for Antonio Rossetti, I'm Justin Stewart. This has been the Rossetti and Stewart Podcast. We'll see you next week.
Vucevic is the best Magic player of all time.
Dwight Howard's better. Bye.
Shaq's the
Bye.
best. Shaq's the best Magic player.
Give me Dwight over. Bye.